Welcome back, everyone. I'm Rem Alternis. I'm the Community and Marketing Director for Catalyst Game Labs, and I'm here with my friend Craig. Hi, Craig.
Hi.
From Nerdburger Games, and I'm so excited to introduce you guys to Craig and have you guys become as much of a fan as I am. Yeah, right? I love Gen Con. I can't squee anymore, though. My voice is a little more sultry.
You can just say the word squee.
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 I squee real hard right now.
Big squee.
Awesome. Well, Craig, who are you and what's your history here in gaming?
Sure. My name is Craig Campbell. I'm the owner and publisher at Nerdburger Games, also the lead designer for the most part. I've been playing games for 3 decades, did a lot of freelancing, and then 9 years ago published a game. So next year is Nerdburger's 10-year anniversary.
Nice.
So we're figuring out what that's going to entail, but got to get through this year's Gen Con before I get too hard into that. We publish all sorts of role-playing games, a lot of different variety. There's kind of more traditional GM and player games, bigger books. We've got a number of GM-less games, some that play very quickly, so they're good pickup games. All sorts of little, very light zine games. And we just released a kind of a role-playing / monster hunting card game.
Okay. Awesome. That's exciting. So I know nothing about that. So tell us a little bit more about the history of Nerdburger. Why create your own company, and what was your goal for Nerdburger, and where did you see it in 10 years back at the beginning?
Well, the first game that I designed got published 9 years ago, but it was like 3 years in kind of getting it made.
Yeah.
Didn't know anything about like the whole process other than I had gamed a lot and freelanced. And what happened was I was doing a lot of freelance for Wizards of the Coast and D&D.
Oh, nice.
And the transition, the late period of 4th edition, a lot of the freelance opportunities dried up because they were transitioning into a lot of playtesting, and they were putting out a lot of flavor kind of books and not doing so much crunch for 4th edition, which is where my bread and butter was.
Yeah.
And so I thought to myself, well, I can dig around and try to find some work with other publishers and other games that I love, or I can be a sucker and try to design my own game. And so I did that.
Awesome.
And then took it to Kickstarter in 2016. And that's kind of where, and then I did that one, and that funded, like squeaked by, but it funded, and just kind of rolled and rolled and rolled. And then on top of it hit the pandemic, where the social life went right down the toilet, and published a whole bunch of, like, especially the little stuff, like the little games. I was like, I'd have an idea, but like, I want a game that's, kind of like What We Do in the Shadows as a role-playing game. So that became Low Stakes during one of the Zine Quest campaigns through Kickstarter.
Neat. Okay, and yeah, you've gotten through quite a few Kickstarters at this point, right?
23 or 24
Wow.
successful Kickstarters, something like that.
Congratulations. That's a big deal.
Yep.
So you've built a little community, and what is your bread and butter for Nerdburger Games in terms of product?
Well, it's the bread and butter. This is a weird answer because it's very much the variety. Like there's I'm doing my best to make sure if you walk up to the table or you go to the website, you have no excuse. Like if there's a genre that's your favorite one, we've got a game in that genre. If you like a solo game, we've got that. If you like a little game, we've got that. If you got a thing like that you can want to play a longer campaign, we've got that.
Something for everyone.
Yep. But the one that kind of took off and became something bigger, which was published in 2018, which is called Capers, which is superpowered gangsters in the 1920s. And that built into a whole kind of universe that spanned like 100 years of history in that world, with other supplements that took you to different time periods, and then capped off with like a game set in the 2020s as opposed to the old roaring 20s. That shows how how supers have led to the rise of mega corporations exploiting them and building their wealth largely off of super smart and super talented people.
Awesome. Yeah. Dystopia.
Hooray. And this is Capers.
Awesome.
Do you own this?
I don't.
Okay, you're going to take this with you.
Oh my God. No, I'm going to need one of everything that you have. I've seen your Cyberpunk one.
Okay.
And I'm always like, thank you very much. I'm a super powered game of gangsters in the Roaring 20s. I love it. I love this art as well. If make sure that you can see it here.
Yeah, an artist named Beth Varney did the art for every single book in the series.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
It's got a very consistent look and feel. and kind of the kicker for it is it doesn't use dice at all. So, and I know Dice Goblins, you love your dice, and I love dice too.
What?
But you use playing cards to play the
Ooh.
game. So every GM and every player has their own deck of cards, and you'll be flipping cards, one or more, based on how good you are at something, and it's sort of a press your luck mechanic.
Okay.
So you flip a card, do I want to stick with that? That one barely gets me a success. Do I want to try for a better success?
Do you have branded cards at your booth that
I
people
do.
could? Oh, nice. For each of the time periods.
Yep.
And okay, awesome.
Yeah, and the face cards are all NPCs from the book.
Oh, great. Okay. So Capers, Super Gangsters in the Roaring 20s. And then now I remember seeing at your booth little, like, smaller sized paperback ones. Those are all the different settings, right? Or
well, the supplements for this are 8.5 by 11.
Oh, they are.
But
Okay.
but soft cover.
But they are soft cover. Okay.
Yeah, the smaller games are some of the Capers gets a little more complex with his rule system, not terribly complex. Okay. And then the stuff that's like 6 by 9 and zine size, those are all much lighter.
Oh, okay.
Lighter,
awesome.
Very narrative forward games.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. I'm so excited. We're going to have to play. New game to play, guys. So in addition to Capers, what is some of your existing product line?
Well, there's a whole bunch, and I knew that I wasn't going to have that much time. So I picked and chose just to give you a look at some of the variety.
Okay.
And so this one's been around for a few years. This is Code Warriors. I found myself thinking, there's not really a game that kind of does the Tron thing.
Ooh.
I love Tron, and like there's certain like GURPS and stuff. There's like expansions that do that sort of thing, but not a lot of games that are dedicated to the idea of like you're playing a program inside of a computer. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, well, that's interesting and evocative, but now what?
Yeah.
So I started thinking about, well, what do computers do? And I went through the list, boom, 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 and eventually hit on, well, computers crash. And to the living programs inside of that computer, that's the apocalypse. So Code Warriors is effectively Tron meets Mad Max.
Awesome. Tron meets Mad Max. I love that.
And Code Warriors is a play on Road Warrior.
Oh, that's awesome. I really like that. Well, I don't like the pun, but I like the rest of it.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch out. There's a lot of pun in some of my games.
I love the back cover copy, too, because when you were holding this up, I see, like, it's got, your usual description, and then it just ends in error, 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 error. And I love that. So you're already getting into the feel of the game and what's to come. So that's incredible. I love the colors.
Yeah, well, it was interesting coming up with an aesthetic for it with the artist Dan Morrison, who's a Brit, and because we didn't want to make it just look like Tron, because that's like a little too on the nose.
Yeah.
So we went with the idea of when the computer is functioning well and the collapse has just started, the colors are vibrant, there's a lot more surfaces,
Ooh.
and as the collapse progresses, you start to see wireframes, and there's degradation of the system, and the colors become more dull, but it still looks like computer simulated
Neat. I kind of
imagery.
Scroll through. Wow, it's Sunday at Gen Con, and apparently I scroll in real life now. Yeah, I love the brightness here. I was, gosh, look at that. That art and color is fantastic. So, Code Warriors, guys. And where do people get this if they're not here at Gen Con?
Anything that you see that's hardcover here, as well as the thing that we're going to talk about, the card game in a bit, that's all available in distribution, so you might see it in your favorite local game store. And if they don't have it, say, hey, go talk to your distributors and find the game. Everything, however, can be found at DriveThruRPG.com,
oh, cool.
including PDF versions of the games, and every book comes with the PDF for free.
Awesome. All right, great. All right, what else you got for me?
All right, die laughing.
You die laughing.
This is the game that took the longest to develop. It began as an idea before Nerdburger Games existed, and I wanted a horror game where you could have your character be killed, and then you still have something to do that isn't just make another character.
Yeah.
Because that kind of defeats the purposes of like whittling down the party,
right.
The character pool. So Die Laughing is a game where you are all playing. It's a GM-less game. And you are all playing. Somebody's giving me the heart fingers over there. Heart hands. You're playing characters in a horror comedy movie, and everybody's going to die except for maybe one person. So make it funny and big and exciting. And then when your character is gone, you become a producer on the movie, and you continue to screw around with the story that it's going and messing with the players until the end.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. I like that a lot. A horror comedy role-playing game.
Yeah. All the characters are just like one-page characters. They're all kind of archetypes from horror movies. All the monsters are like comedic spins on well-known kind of monster ideas, tropes, or like franchise monsters.
That's awesome. I like, so they're all these character sheets are the autopsy reports. And some of the ones that are in here, the paranormal investigator, the nameless extra, the mad scientist, the monster's helper, the bumbling idiot, the chatterbox. I love this. This is great. That's really fun.
One of them is the person who knows they're in a movie.
The person who knows they are. That's awesome. I thought I had seen one that made me laugh, but I'm missing it now. Was there one that was the dead body? Or did I see that somewhere else?
Not specifically, but there will be plenty of those by the time you get done with the game.
Cool. That's awesome. So Die Laughing from Nerdburger Games and Craig Campbell. So that's really fun too. All right. What's the newer stuff that you have?
The new stuff. The last expansion for Capers is called Capers Expanded. It blows out more 1920 stuff, so you get more parts of the country and additional powers. Basically everything that I had come up with that I hadn't managed to squeeze into a previous supplement. I was like, well, I've got a whole bunch of powers. They need to see the light of day. Yeah. But then the big thing that we premiered at Gen Con here this year is Slay to Win, which is my take on kind of doing a hybrid role-playing game / monster hunting card game.
Cool.
So you are all playing fantasy characters who, like a fantasy adventuring party, who all want to help the kingdom and slay the monsters and save the people, but each of you deep down secretly wants to be known as the greatest monster hunter ever.
Of course.
And so you need to fight the monsters, but in order to win the trophy, you need to be the one who deals the killing blow as often as possible. Ooh. So you're going to fight, and then backstab to make sure that you take the last shot at the monster.
So theoretically, you could like hold your turn maybe so that
there's
someone
ways
else
to manipulate when you
Okay.
take your turn. There's ways to make sure that you insert yourself, or you can re-roll initiative to hopefully try to go earlier. And,
neat.
Sometimes it's just making sure that you can deal enough damage that you can overwhelm the monster when they're at, even if they have a fair number of health points left.
That's awesome. So it's a way to get card gamers into role-playing games and role-playing gamers into card games.
Yep.
That's great. Oh, that's clever. I like that a lot. So this was on Kickstarter recently.
It was on Kickstarter recently, and it's actually fulfilling. It's on a truck on its way to Tennessee right now, and it will start fulfilling next week. Okay. And I had one case of it air freighted just to have it at Gen Con.
Oh, nice. That's when you're right there and you're so close, and you're like, but I want it.
And
there.
I had to tell all the backers, okay, I'm taking one case to Gen Con. Don't worry, your games are coming very quickly. And a few of the backers are here, so they came and picked up their copy right at the convention.
Well, and that saves them shipping and
exactly.
everything. Oh, that's really awesome. Great. Super. So Slay to Win. Anything you'd like to say about that before we move to the next thing?
That one, again, we'll just throw out there. It's on the website. You'll be able to get it if you're looking through retailers, Studio 2 Publishing. That's where I consolidate my products through, and then they make their way into distribution. So that's another one that can end up in your game store.
Awesome.
So if you're interested in that and you can't, don't want to pay the shipping, you want to get it in your store, is go bug your favorite game store and say, hey, check the distributors. This should be in distribution in like 2 months, in time for the holidays.
Awesome. Great. And you have something new coming as well.
I do, and I forgot to bring the proof book with me, but I can describe it.
Yes, please.
This is going to be the new, hopefully, the plan is for a new game line called the Aether Space game line. The first game is called Cosmic Corsairs, and it is essentially, the quick pitch we've been using is magical space pirates fighting fascism. So we've got
magical space pirates fighting fascism. That was a lot of great words all mashed together.
Yeah. But it's space pirates, and because you spend so much time amongst the stars and in the cosmos, you are able to, you're what's called a cosmic. and you can draw power from celestial bodies and channel it through, including things called novas, which are your most powerful abilities, where you build those up slowly, and then you can unleash them. And so you'll be out to live on the fringes, out in the moon bases and the abandoned asteroids and space stations, and fight back against the Triarchy, which is the government that rules these 10 worlds, which kind of has control of a great deal of what's going on.
Yeah.
So the game is built around plenty of combat, but then there's also a whole series of mechanics that deal with building trust with your contacts, and so that they will do more for you, and building hope with communities. And if their hope rating gets high enough, they join the fight.
Ooh, okay. I like that a lot. That's really fun. And that's coming to crowdfunding?
That's coming to Kickstarter on October 7th.
Awesome. All right. So, gosh, there's just so much going on. I have to say that when you told me about Cosmic Corsairs, at first my brain went to Cosmic Encounters, the old game. And I was like, ooh, cool. Like, that's a fun game. Like, what's this going to be about? And then I remembered that Cosmic Corsairs, we did a Mutants and Masterminds live stream once in what we called the Optiverse. My friend Opti created this universe. So we had one show was like Avengers-esque, one show was X-Men-esque, and then one show was the Space Cowboys, and that was called Cosmic Corsairs. So I was like, oh, it takes me back. So that's awesome. I'm really excited for this game. I'm really excited to work with you. I'm working with Craig on marketing, and my team is taking care of him. So I wanted to bring, you've done so much in the industry, and for a relatively small publisher to have lived this long, 10 years, to have so many games, like, it's a big deal, and it's a lot of hard work, and you've put in your time, and you've made some great products. So
it's a lot of hard work, aided by dozens and dozens of really wonderful contributors, freelancers and playtesters, and just fans.
That's awesome. So where can folks, that timing is perfect. Where can folks find and follow everything Nerdburger?
Sure. I'm at Nerdburger Craig on Instagram and Blue.Sky. The website is nerdburgergames.com. You can get any of the hardcovers as well as the card game, like the fancy schmancy hardcovers, on the website as well, and then everything, including all of the games, which many of the soft covers are print on demand at DriveThruRPG, and the PDFs are all there as well.
Great. And is there a pre-launch page for the Kickstarter yet that people could follow?
There is. So if you search Kickstarter Cosmic Corsairs, you'll find it, and it's a pretty extensive pre-launch page. It tells you quite a bit about it, including the backer tiers and a bit about the system and so forth.
And the Corsairs is Corsairs?
Correct.
Great. Now, if you are here at Gen Con, where can folks find you and maybe demo the games?
Well, we can definitely talk to you about the game. I'm working on the idea of a demo kind of thing, and like an ongoing demo thing next year, maybe.
Awesome.
We'll see how that works out. We always have game events running, which are mostly done. But if you're here at Gen Con next year, there will certainly be a bunch of them.
Cool.
This year, we are booth 163, and it's a very full table that we would like to empty by the end of the convention. So stop on by and check out a couple dozen different games and supplements.
Awesome. So, and it was booth number?
163.
163. So way at the beginning, you won't be all tired out once you start at the vendor hall. Just start on the left side, not the right side. But head on over there, support Nerdburger Games, support indie creators, and follow at nerdburgergames.com.
Yep. And
look for Nerdburger Games on social media.
One other thing, I always forget to pitch this. Jess Geyer from Wannabe Games and I are good friends. We've been for a while, and we do a podcast called RPG R&D, as in research and development.
Ooh.
And we bring on a guest with us every episode, and we discuss GMing and RPG design topics.
Ooh, that's awesome.
We're up over 100, 150 or something episodes, so there's all sorts of interesting things if you're a GM or if you're just wondering about how the games get made.
And where do people find that?
You can catch it on the website. There's a page dedicated to it there, and it's in all your podcatchers.
Oh, okay, great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, Craig. Really
Thank you.
appreciate you. Thank you guys for joining us. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next is something that nobody's told me yet. So we're going to see what Lauren has in store for us in the next hour. There's a chance we might move the 2 o'clock up to the 1 o'clock, or the 1 o'clock up to the noon. But we'll see. They're going to surprise me. They always do. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.